Hey guys, it's Pharaoh here. Long time no see. I just thought about, let me give you my opinion about what they might be doing to my favorite theme, fantasy, the theme of Stick of Truth. So 3 cards have been forcefully released from the test server, meaning they're just testing around, and those changes might not be final or probably aren't final because they are fucking crazy. That's as much as I can tell you from right off the bat. The units that were leaked were Standard Grade, Princess Kenny, and Pearl and Butters. And let me just go over each one of them. Like starting with Standard Grade, right now he would decrease the enemy attack by 124 for 5 seconds. What the change is that they will halve the value he decreases attack, meaning it would be, let me do the math, 62. And that sucks. Now, in my opinion, I didn't feel like Standard Grade was that much of a big deal, but as it turns out, I guess the top players are all playing Fantasy, and Fantasy is like the core of the deck, and it's always the 4 same units, and if something like that happens, it does make sense, in my opinion, to nerf them a little bit, so that the variety in decks is, well, greater. But in my opinion, this is too much. I would say start a little bit slower, Red Links, and make it something like 20%. A 20% decrease that especially the assassins will still deal a great amount of damage. I think that would be much more reasonable in Standard Grade's case. Coming up next, we're talking about Princess Kenny. Well, Princess Kenny, nothing else happens than her power duration will be removed to 10 seconds. While Princess Kenny has the worst stats pretty much out of any assassins, maybe Sally's even worse. Let me check real quick. Sally, oh no, I can't because she's a little higher. But it doesn't really matter because first of all, she's one of the fastest attackers, and second of all, her death rattle is the best. It's the best death rattle out there, I guess. And in my opinion, right now, she's probably the strongest assassin and one of the strongest cards. Halving her power durations from 10 seconds to 5 seconds would not make her any more the strongest card, or one of the strongest cards. She would still be a very good card. And I think a very good card is a good place to be. With Fantasy being at the top, I can very much see this change being healthy to the game. But now, oh my god, what the hell? Paladin Butters would be changed from 2 to 3 energy. Now people are arguing, yeah, I mean, Red Links gotta try stuff to figure out if it's still okay. I think you don't have to try to see that this is an absolute overkill. Just mathematically, you could say you get 1/3 less of stats on the board for the value than you would before. So it's a 33.3% decrease in stats compared to energy. And that's nuts. And that does not include that combinations are now 1 energy more costly. Are they even... Is the shield worth 3 energy anymore for, I don't know, Starvin Marvin or, yeah, headhunters in general? Or the Duggies, the good Duggy combo, which I made a video on with Paladin Butters and Duggy, which is pretty fun. I think that is absolutely horrible, and I would really cry because the problem is you get nothing in return. They nerf him really hardcore. I invested like 1,300 cards into this. It would take away like 1 month of the progress. And now overall talking about the fantasy theme as a whole, because I understand why those cards are hit somehow, but I absolutely don't understand why this card isn't hit. Rogue Token to me is the more frustrating card of the fantasy deck. And of course I enjoy him, playing him because he's very strong and he really feels like an epic, but the problem for me is he really does reset the board. I know Aerostorm is covering the whole board, but I want to just show you guys what's kind of broken here and why those numbers are important. Rogue Token right now has 233 damage on level 4. Paladin Butters has 216 health on level 6. That means Rogue Token level 4 kills assassins on level 6. Now let's check Aerostorm. Aerostorm has 192 damage. Assassins on level 6 will survive a level 4 Aerostorm, but they won't survive a level 4 Rogue Token. And Rogue Token brings, well, he's a solid, like, worth 1.5 energy unit, fighter unit. And that is, in my opinion, kind of off balance. Even though his range isn't that great, on how the game works, you all know, at the end, the units will clump up on your enemy new kit. And those enemy new kit, those guys on this side will start moving in this direction. They will move in this direction, and those in the middle will obviously go straight to the new kit, meaning this is where shit happens. Even if they are a bit far apart, you place Rogue Token, they will, the assassin will turn around, try to attack Rogue Token, while the other assassin, whoever it is, will walk into range. So in my opinion, to make Rogue Token a little bit more fair and not reset the board that much, I would maybe decrease the range slightly of him. And I know I'm fucking myself right here, with Rogue Token being one of my strongest cards in my deck, but you know, overall game balance is, to me, is more important than the strength of my deck. Now this is retarded, this is too strong, and well, I don't think this will happen. Redlinks is just fooling around on a test server, so yeah, this is too much. This is absolutely bonkers. This is good, and I think you should touch him as well. But I want to even add more to the discussion with fantasy right now, because the problem with fantasy is a problem that other, or let's at least say adventure and sci-fi, do not face. Their cards are kinda weird. You know, they have the strongest base with Standard Grade, the Assassins and Rogue Token, but the other cards, like the spells, they are terrible. I mean, right off the bat, Transmogrify is worse than Unholy Combustion, Grand Wizard Cartman is garbage, Cock Magic is not very good. I mean, compared to other spells, this is definitely not good. Amazingly Randy is probably the worst Randy in my opinion. Lebard Jimmy is very gimmickal and very high cost. Robin Tweak also, very gimmickal units. This battle cry is absolutely garbage. Shield Maiden Windy, not good. Dougie, not good anyway, even not one of the good Dougies. Dwarf King Clyde, one of the most solid cards, and Underpants Gnomes, one of the most solid cards. Going with Catapult Timmy, also kind of solid. But what I'm meaning is, if they, for example, nerf Butters to the ground, right now everyone plays with 4 cards, now only 3? Come on, there should be at least 4 good cards for every theme. Because when you look at my adventure stuff, there is a lot of good cards that can fill in right here. In my opinion, Pirate Ship Timmy is much better than Catapult Timmy, so he would be one option. Shaman Token is one option. Ike is an option. I don't even know. There's even more. Captain Wendy is a good option. Deccan Butters is okay. He's more gimmicky, but he's not too terrible, I guess. Aerostorm might work. Stan of Many Moons, of course, a good card. Sheriff Cartman, a good card. You know, that is like a solid theme, and fantasy isn't. And the outcoming Blood Elf Baby, which is the first release of a fantasy card, is probably the worst baby, because why the hell would the ranged unit stack health? Like, that doesn't make sense, does it? I mean, ranged units are supposed to do DPS, like in every freaking game. Ranged units do DPS. And they're not getting a little bit more tankier per critter kill. Ah, you catch my drift. Well, I think I covered it all, my current thoughts on the game. I really hope... I'm always kind of excited about meta changes, and I just think that this one is too hard and this one is bonkers. So I hope they are not the reality for the health of the game, but I can see why fantasy deserves a little bit of nerf. That's going to be it. Farewell out. I hope I will be uploading more frequently. See you guys later.